Alright, what's up, guys? Going over this build for Project Diablo 2 Season 3. This is a Dragondin. So, Dragondins were a very popular build in Season 1 because they were absurdly overpowered and did 40k sheet damage and cleared Tier 1 maps absurdly fast. Season 2, they were nerfed, obviously, and they needed to be. It's not good for the game to have a build that's just that super powerful. So their popularity decreased significantly. In season 3, there's some interesting changes to game mechanics that improve the build's viability. Those changes are: one, staff mods are fixed, so it's easier to get the plus skills on certain rune word bases. It's more of a minor thing, but still a consideration. Number 2, elemental pierce, so enemy fire, cold, poison, lightning. It functions below 0 at 50% effectiveness instead of having a 0 floor. So if a mob had 30 fire resistance and you had 50 fire pierce, in seasons 1 and 2 it would have 0 fire resistance. In season 3 it would have negative 10 fire resistance, so you would do 1.1x your sheet damage. The third interesting change is large charms that can spawn with up to 3% of a element damage type. So the fastest damage types, lightning, cold, fire, poison, are in the game. So these three things all combined make Dragondin interesting again. So the Season 3 version is going to be quite different than the Season 1 version. Rather than just boosting your plus skills and plus defensive auras to get resist fire as high as possible, we're going to run Conviction instead for Pierce, and we're going to fill our inventory with large charms that have 3% fire skill damage and build the character that way. Resist fire is not nearly as good as it was in season 1. That was the big nerf. Instead of it doing 2% damage per level, I think it's like 0.5% after a certain level. So anyway, we'll start. Let's go ahead and get into the build. We'll start with the gear. So core to any Dragondin build is going to be the 3 rune words. Hand of Justice, which gives level 12 Holy Fire R when equipped. Dragon Armor, which gives level 12 Holy Fire R when equipped. And Dragon Shield, which gives level 12 Holy Fire R when equipped. So all these 3 stack, and you get level 36 Holy Fire R out of it. So what we want to do is use our skill points to synergize Holy Fire, and then max Conviction and run Conviction rather than Holy Fire. So we have a fully synergized level 36 Holy Fire R running, as well as our native Conviction. So yep, Hand of Justice, made in a War Scepter, Divine Scepter, or Caduceus with +3 to Conviction ideally. More the better. If you can't get your hands on this exact base, really any base is going to be fine. You want level 26 Conviction. So level 26 conviction is going to break monsters with 130 fire res, which is a common amount of res monsters have in maps. 130. They're either usually when a monster's fire immune, it's going to have 105 fire resist, 120 fire resist, 130 fire resist, or 145 plus. So what we're going to do is ignore the 145 plus, and at level 26 we break anything 130 and lower, because conviction functions at half effectiveness when they're immune. So we have to bring them under 100 to break their immunity. 62 divided by 2 is 31. 130 minus 31 is 99, which means they're not immune anymore. So these three items are key. And like I said, the +3 to conviction is nice. If you can't get that, you'll want to add a couple plus skills somewhere in your gear to get there. But I would just try to get my hands on at least a +2 to conviction War Scepter, Divine Scepter, or Caduceus with 4 sockets. For the armor, it's not a build that's going to stack a ton of defense. So we want to just basically pick the base that looks the best, in my opinion. If you were maxing defense, Archon Plate would be the best choice, but I think this just looks better, so I went with the Shark Tooth armor. Don't get a superior base either, because you're not going to notice the extra defense, and it's going to cost like 50k gold to repair per durability, and that's just cost you don't need. It's just gold, but it's a quality of life annoyance, and it's not, you're not gaining any actual power when you're playing the game from it. So the dragon, in whatever base you like the looks of, I like the Shark Tooth armor. I think it looks pretty cool. Shield base is a lot more important. We want ideally a Sacred Targe. Has the highest block chance with as close to 30 all res as you can get. 30 is the max. So 30 all res Sacred Targe is the best bet. If you can't get Sacred Targe, Sacred Rondash is good too. It's 2% less block, so you'll have to put more points in dex, but not too many. So Sacred Targe or Sacred Rondash with as high res as you can get. 30 is the best. So these three items, core to the build. For the hat, since these three items are rune words, the only other place we have sockets is our hat. So we want a helm that can roll 3 sockets. You can make it work with any helm that can roll 3 sockets. We want 3 5/5 fire facets in there, is why we want 3 sockets. So like I said, you can make it work with any helm that can roll 3 sockets, but the best one to use is Akira's Guardian. The reason is it has Fire Pierce, rolls 5 to 10 Fire Pierce. It has a ton of all res, 25 to 45. The more all res we can get on our gear, the less we have to use in charms, and that frees up slots for us to use those 3% fire skill damage large charms. It has 20 faster hit recovery. We are going to be max block, so we're not going to be in hit recovery too much, but we still want a little bit. That's just one less thing to worry about. And it has cannot be frozen on it, so we don't have to buy expensive CBF slam boots or anything like that, CBF slam ring, or worry about it elsewhere. So everything on this hat is useful for this build. So 3-socketed Kira's Guardian with 3/5/5 fire facets is the way to go. I upped mine to a diadem because I like the way it looks better, and then I went with red, white, and blue for the fire facets to make it the most patriotic Kira's Guardian on the planet, America. Next item. For the amulet, I like Rising Sun. It doesn't matter if it's +1 or +2 to fire skills. You're not running any fire skills, and that doesn't affect your synergies or anything like that. It's not going to affect your Holy Fire aura. So +1 or +2 doesn't matter. What you want to go for is the -12 to enemy fire res. And then the fire absorb is nice too. Also, the adds fire damage, but again, we're not running a resist fire, so that damage isn't going to scale or anything like that. But it's still more important than the plus to fire skills. So my advice would be to try to find a cheap one that's +1 to fire skills with 12 fire pierce. And this one's corrupted 3 mana after each kill. That's another thing we want to stack with this build. When you're charging around, you do use up a lot of mana. But if you stack enough mana after each kill, you will not have to put points into meditation or redemption or slam mana pots all the time. So stacking mana after each kill is a nice quality of life upgrade, and saves the skill points for more, helps improve our character power that way. Just put more points into Holy Shield. For the boots, Silkweave, for much the same reason. They come with 5 mana after each kill. They're a big boost to mana. Faster run walk is nice. We're going to be charging around a lot, but still nice to have some faster run walk for town or for when we're not charging around. And these are slammed for all res. Like I said, the more res you get on your gear, the less you need in your inventory. So ideally, you're going to run 18 large charms with 3 fire skill damage for another 54 mastery on top of your 15 from your 3/5/5 fire facets for 69 mastery. For the rings, I've got all res rings with stats on them. If you needed, and this one has a 3 mana after each kill slam as well. I crafted and slammed this one myself. Pretty nice. And then I bought this one unslammed and slammed decks on it, which we also need. If you needed to boost your conviction, you could use the +1 skill rings like BK rings or something. But or Sajas for more mana, any of the plus skill rings. But then so getting the res you need is going to require more charm slots. And you won't do as much sheet damage. For the belt, Creedonum has 10 strength, 10 dex, 15 all res. Pretty self-explanatory why we'd want this. Mostly for the res, but the strength and dex are nice little bonuses. And this one's slammed for MF. You could also go for like physical damage reduction or really whatever you want, more all res. Variety of different slams can be fine, but Creedonum is, I think, the best belt you can use. And for the gloves, we want Hellmouth for fire pierce and a little more fire absorb. The molten boulder is nice for like pushing mobs out of the way when you're charging around. It allows you to keep pushing through packs and letting your radial damage work for you. On swap, yikes. On swap, Call to Arms. You want to make this in a War Scepter, Divine Scepter, or Caduceus with +3 to Holy Shield to boost your Holy Shield skill, obviously. And then Lidless for plus to all skills. I just have a +1 one right now. I need to upgrade that. Just haven't done it yet. In the inventory, we're using Torch, Annihilus. We needed 4 points of fire res, so I just had this 15 life, 10 fire res charm lying around. And you can see all our res is overcapped, so if a mob has conviction or something, we're not in as tough a shape. Or if a map has minus res or something. And then 3 to fire skill damage, large charms. 18 of them. This one's only 2. I need to get one more. As you can see, I'm at 68 mastery instead of 69. So, if the Kiras had rolled a perfect -10, and this were -10, I could get another 5 pierce. So, -10 plus 15, so 25, 35, 47, and then the Hand of Justice has 20, so 67's the max you can get with this setup. We're at 62, which is fine. If you have a choice between, on the Kiras, between Pierce and Res, get the Res. Freeing up these inventory slots for more large charms is much more important than 5 points of Pierce. So, we got what we got. Talk about the skills. So, Holy Fire obviously is what gives us our damage, but we don't run Holy Fire. So we just want to max the synergies, Resist Fire, Salvation, and Blessed Aim. Blessed Aim's right here, so 1 point in Might, and then max Blessed Aim. Resist Fire's here, and Salvation's here. If you haven't stacked enough mana per kill, you'll want to put a point in Prayer Cleansing, 2 points in Meditation for free mana per kill, and then a point here in Defiance, a point in Vigor, a point in Redemption, so you can toggle it on and use all the corpses around you to get all your mana back. Back to offensive auras, we're going to get ourselves down to Conviction and max Conviction. We're going to put 1 in Sacrifice, Zeal, Vengeance, and Joust. Then we're going to put 1, 1, 1, Smite, Charge, Conversion, and dump the rest into Holy Shield. We're mostly going to be using Zeal and Charge to attack. Charge on, for more trivial AoE farming. Zeal for tough packs or packs with high fire res or bosses, and then Joust to jump over stuff and reposition the mercenary. And then as many points in Holy Shield as you can to boost that. You can see it's 260 seconds now. I'd like it to be as long as my Battle Command, but Battle Command is 300. Battle Orders is 300. I'd like to get Holy Shield up there too, which will happen with levels. For the Merc, he's using a Doom. Doom is one of the best mercenary weapons out there. The Holy Freeze Aura just really improves our survivability. When we joust into a pack, everything's frozen for us. Great Poleaxe is one of the best bases you can get. It's the highest DPS base at 105 IAS. So 105 IAS is, I think, what you want to go for. Got some crafted gloves with 20 IAS, 2 life leech, 10 crushing blow, 7 deadly strike, little life, little cold res, little dex. 10 IAS string of ears with 7 life leech and 12 PDR. Some Marowaks with strength, so Marowaks have strength, help us wear our other gear. These are slammed for max cold res. They have cannot be frozen. You need cannot be frozen somewhere. Boots are a great place to get it. 2 socketed vampire gaze for PDR and life leech, and then 2 15 IAS jewels in there. So 30, 40, 60, and then there's 45 on the Doom. Puts us at 105, which is the break point we want to be at. And then Fortitude. This is in a lacquered plate. Requires 198 strength. Very high defense base. So it gives him enhanced damage and caps his res and all that. So let's show off a little gameplay. Start with here's fine. Battle command, battle orders, holy shield. Just check here. We're at 10k charge damage and slightly under that for zeal. Max block, etc. That way it doesn't look promising. Here we go. Stuff just dies by standing next to it. I didn't attack that. Mostly what you want to do is just kind of charge around. Here we jousted into a pack. Joust. Charge. Joust. Charge. So obviously very, very, very powerful for LOD content. And we'll go ahead and take a look at some endgame content. Just pop a map. When you're charging around like that, your mana will go down, so be aware. Players have minus defense. Map contains cows, enhanced physical, and lightning skill damage. I didn't roll this map. I just found it like this, so I didn't like pick it out specially for the test or anything. So we just sort of charge around. Big pack here. We're going to switch over to Zeal. There's no way to really get life back, but most stuff dies so fast that you don't really need. Leech or anything. So those martyrs have high fire res, so it's good to remember when you hit a pack of those. Go ahead and turn on Zeal, and it's just a good habit to get into anytime you're in a map that you're going to do a lot. Make note of the mobs that aren't dying in a couple charges. Chances are they have high fire res. They might have even been fire immune. They probably were fire immune before, because if they weren't, they would be below 0 and you'd be doing over 10k a hit. Zeal does 3 attacks instead of 1 like Charge, so if you're in a pack of mobs that's not going to die in 1 hit, you're best off switching to Zeal. Oh, look at that. Cheeky little history. Feels good, man. Not sure how this boss is going to go, to be honest with you. Never done this map on this guy, so I just really kind of got done with the build. I finished getting his mercenary gear and all that today. Finished getting his 3% fire skill damage charms. Build was conceived probably a week ago, but like in my head, conceived. There's an ethereal weapon in it. Normally I'd probably stop and pick more stuff up, but I just want to blast through this and get to the boss for the sake of the video. Wow, I died quicker than I expected. Midar here, we do want to be careful because we are a bit squishy. Holy Shield was off. Yeah, I'd say he performs well on this map. Alright, here's the boss. I'm just going to charge up to him. Turn on Zeal. Take him out. And there it is. So yeah guys, that's the Dragondin Season 3 Project Diablo 2. I think it's a pretty cool build. Pretty unique. It's nice to be able to play an old classic, so to speak. Hope you enjoyed watching. Y'all have a good one.